Misep Kukwelam, to all the legislatures, to the Thwassan members and guests. Wow, I'm so grateful to be here tonight on our final meeting of the Spring 2026 session. We've had a lot of great discussion, debate, thoughts through the past few weeks, month over month. And I hope that you feel as proud as I do of the work that you've done at this table for this session and that you've accomplished. So good to start the evening off with a meal, nourishing our bodies. And I want to thank Wapio and Kwakwimasot for the table blessing and then taking the time to bless our food before we enjoy the meal. And I just want to thank also our young drummer, our songbird, Connie Adams, for making sure that our spiritual work is taken care of and that our hearts are united by that drum beat and honoring that ceremonial procession that we started at the beginning of legislature when we started sitting as a government. So thank you very much to Connie for sharing her voice and her drum. Thank you to Yum's Catering, to Kiamu, and her team for preparing a lovely, lovely meal. I always love Bertha's bread, so I was very grateful to have some of that, and I took some home. Really appreciate all of the caterers that supported us throughout this session for such wonderful, wonderful meals. We do well when we're nourished both physically and spiritually. So thank you to all of those that contribute to that. So this marks our final meeting, and as with every meeting, I'm looking forward to hearing some of your comments and your thoughts. But before we proceed into that tonight's agenda, I would like to invite my little cousin niece, Squasanson, Victoria Williams, to open and start our meeting with a prayer.
My auntie Cuzzy. Ai swael Squasanson Thanisquil Talitzin Act Awathan. Squasanson is my name, and I'm from Tawasan First Nation. This is Barb's prayer. Yeah, I think, I'm sorry, I forgot if her name is Walapia. Okay, we'll see. So this is her prayer. Itel tiem Queenam atasant stiwil. Si dama u eat mastaloch skakip. Chich lamatoch tenatwayal. Tithichum chuch it awataloch at tathiayest. Quam stuch tushk olowinst. Let us pray, Creator. Listen to our prayer. Thank you for bringing us together. Watch over us today. Please help us with our work and keep our thoughts strong. Haichka, Wutsiam.
Hi, Sapka Squasanson, for remembering the teachings that you received for our language, for honoring our respected elder, Walapia, and for carrying on those teachings by starting our meeting off with a prayer in the language, Haichko Osiam. Very proud, very proud. I'd like to extend a warm welcome back to our feather runner tonight, Paul Net Majestic. Welcome back, Paul. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for supporting the work on our last meeting. As is our tradition and our custom, I would like to remind all legislators and staff to wait until they have the feather before speaking and to pass it back to Paul, the feather runner, when you're done. And also, just a gentle reminder, please put your phones on silent. I would really appreciate that. If you have one phone, put that on silent. If you have two phones, put that on silent, and heaven help you if you have three phones. But put that one on silent as well. For tonight's agenda, we are going to start with the third reading of Bill 001-2026, the 2026-2027 Appropriation Act. Next, we'll have the third reading of Bill 002-2026, the Property Taxation Amendment Act 2026. Then we will have the third reading of Bill 003-2026, the Community Safety Amendment Act 2026. After that, we'll have a discussion and vote on the legislature resolution that we have tabled. And lastly, we will hear a report on the appointment to the Standing Committee on Language and Culture. And also a reminder, and it's always great that we can end our session with this type of work, is Keith Nahaney and his family Keith Nahaney's family will be here to support us, to brush us off after our session is complete. While we've done some good work together and we've enjoyed each other's company, it is heavy work that we carry for our people. And it's important that we take care of ourselves. And so we'll have an opportunity to brush ourselves off. So please look for Keith's family. I'm sure that we'll be able to see them when they come in if you would like to be brushed up. Hi, Cha Osiam, to those that organize that and taking care of us legislators and staff. We really appreciate that. Are there any comments from legislators on the agenda that we have before us tonight? All right. Let us proceed. We are now moving to the third and final reading of Bill 001-2026, the Appropriations Act. Throughout the spring 2026 session, we have heard, debated, and voted on schedules. And we've had more than one opportunity for questions and comments before we proceeded to this final vote. I think what I'd like to do for this Bill 001-2026, the 2026-2027 Appropriations Act's third reading, I would like to just go do a roundtable for anybody that might have any comments about this bill before we move into the vote to approve it. Tismalot, Kathy Genge, Paul, we're just going to go around the table, and then you can just give the feather to each legislature as it's their turn. So Kathy is the one that we're starting with. So if you could bring the feather to Kathy, that would be great, Paul. I did give you warning, Legislature Kathy. So this is about the appropriation bill before we vote. And you can indicate your support or not support or any comments that you might have about the budget.
Good evening, everyone. Yeah, I guess I support this bill. I don't have too much to say. Thank you.
Haichka Legislature Taylor Baker.
Haichka Paul for the feather and Haichka Squeakle for the opportunity to share some thoughts. Yeah, I'll be in support of the bill as well, and I thank Mark and other staff that have made this happen for us. It's really appreciative of all the work that's gone into it. While I'm in support of it, there's a lot of comments I've made at this table and also just the Finance and Audit Committee and, council as well. So I'm looking forward to staff taking that away and hoping for those comments to be implemented in future budgets. Yeah, a lot of work went into this, so just thank you. Haichka.
Haichka Legislature Pelihuia, Don Williams.
Haichka Squeakle Sam, Haichka Paul for the feather. Yeah, it's been a busy session and lots of information. I will be in support of this, although there are a few areas that don't always see eye to eye on, but that's okay because that's why we're here. And I just hope that there's more done for members in other ways, and I appreciate all the services done for our members and the people who utilize some of our programs and services. And yeah, I'd just like to see us get to a point where we're lifting our members up and giving them a good foundation to build on and thrive in their lives. And I think we're getting there, and there's still lots to do, but yeah, I think we're getting there. Haichka.
Haichka Legislature Halkamatia, Louise Om.
Haichka for the feather, Paul, and Haichka Squeakle Sam. Yes, I'm also in support of this this bill. The budget is always one of my favorites to go through, but by the time it hits this table, I kind of questioned out because it sit at 3 tables before it gets here. This is the 3rd table. So it's always fun, and I really appreciate all the work all the staff have put in this together, and all the support that we've had from our members, feather winners, and everybody at this table. It's our budgets are getting bigger and bigger, but it's always a good news story because we can do more and more for our members. So happy we're able to do that. So Haichka, everybody.
Haichka Legislature Kuyakuya, Andrea Jacobs.
Haichka Squeakle Sam, Haichka Feather Runner. I too will be supporting this bill. I've really enjoyed hearing some of the comments from my fellow legislators. It's always good to hear from everybody. So thank you, Squeakle, for doing this and doing the roundtable. I really enjoy hearing what everybody has to say. And I really enjoyed all of the questions, and I thank the staff for all of the hard work. I know it's a lot, and it just shows how much we care for our community and our fellow members. And yeah, just be supporting this as well. And that's all I have to say about that. Haichka Squeakle Sam.
Haichka Legislature Spalautuit, Terry Splachton.
Haichka Squeakle, thank you, Feather Runner. I just want to say that I am also in support of this bill, and yeah, Haichka.
Haichka Legislature Sultanat, Loretta Williams.
Thank you for the feather. Thank you, Squeakle. It gets another year of hard work from the staff, and then a lot of hard work with the legislators. And it's a lot of year of spending, another year of new hires. So hopefully it will be all successful and carry on. And one day we'll know all 250 people that work for us. Okay, Haichka.
Haichka Legislator, Legislator Tehuilium, Bryce Williams.
Haichka Paul for the Feather. I too am in approval of this budget. There's lots in this budget, but we're a fairly new government, and I see us reaching that summit or plateau one day where we're not making as many expenditures and things, but I think we're doing very good. We've done lots, there's been lots of good work done by staff, and just thankful for them for putting together these different budgets and for putting this session together. Thankful for all the feather runners, and I guess we'll save a bunch of that for closing remarks, but I'm just happy to see all this work come together, and thankful for people being able to discuss this at this table and make a difference. So thanking all my colleagues around the table. Yeah, I look forward to to approving the budget and continuing on with the work. Haichka.
Haichka Legislator Luxton, Trent Genge.
Thank you, Squeako. Thank you, Paul, for the feather. I'd like to thank the staff and the directors for all their hard work and of putting this budget together. I know there's a lot of questions we all had about all these new programs and if they're being utilized, but hopefully we see that in the near future, that all these things that we're putting forward, which help our community and hopefully help some of the people that live off the reserve too. We can't forget half of the population lives away from the reserve, so all our programs don't help all the people. So I'd just like to hands up to all the legislators for their comments and maybe advice to some of the EC and directors. Haichka.
Haichka Legislator Squamiah, Melinda Cassidy.
Haichka Squeakle and Haichka for the feather. Yeah, I'm in support of approving our budget for this year, and it's always really great to just review all of the programming that we provide to our members. I would just like to thank all of the directors and managers and staff and the FAC. There's a lot of work that goes into this before it comes to our table, and it's presented to us in a really legible and understandable way, and I appreciate that. Haichka.
Thank you, Legislator Marianne Adams.
Haichka Squeakle Sam and Haichka Paul for the feather. I am in approval of this bill, and I know this is definitely not an easy work for the staff to put this together, and for the amount of money, I just feel so honored to be able to be one of the voices at the table to go over all that money. It's not a small amount, like I said, but yeah, I am in approval, and I look forward to seeing this flourish this budget year. Haichka.
Haichka Legislator Laquolia, Tia Williams.
Haichka Squeakle and Haichka Paul for the feather. I am in support of this, and knowing how much planning consideration is taken to create this budget from all the department managers and directors. I do hope to see the deficit be reduced in the future, but pleased to see all the new programs and initiatives take place and grow to serve our members for the better. Haichka.
Haichka Legislator Squamiah, Chief Laura Cassidy.
Haichka Squeakle and Haichka Paul for the feather. Yeah, I'll be approving this here budget, and I just want to say thank you for all the hard work that has gone into this here budget. And like as Louise said, we probably see this budget 3 different levels, and see all the hard work that goes into it. And I really appreciate the work that the directors and the managers and staff do. And I think this budget is really reflective of what we hear from the community. The programs we provide for them is what they're seeking and asking for, and I feel really good that we're able to provide it for them. And just want to say I also appreciate all the questions and the debate that goes into this here budget. Just want to say hachka to everybody.
Hechka, Chief. So now I would like to go ahead and read the motion to approve Bill 001, 2026, and then ask for a mover and a seconder. Thank you, legislators, for your comments in that roundtable. Motion to approve Bill 001, 2026, the 2026-2027 Appropriations Act. Whereas the Tsawwassen Legislature has the authority under Section 512C of the Constitution Act to enact Tsawwassen laws, and whereas the Tsawwassen Legislature under Section 24.2 of the Financial Administration Act must approve the annual budget, and whereas under Section 23 of the Legislature Rules and Procedures Manual 2025, each bill must receive 3 separate readings, whereas Bill 001, 2026 has received 3 separate readings. Therefore, be it moved that the Tsawwassen Legislature enacts Bill 001, 2026, the 2026-2027 Appropriations Act. May I please have a mover? Moved by Legislature Marianne Adams. May I please have a seconder? Seconded by Legislature Tequilium, Bryce Williams. All in favor, please raise your hand. Thank you, legislatures. This motion has been carried unanimously. I really am grateful that all the legislators that were ill at the last session meeting are feeling better now, and we have a full table of everybody present. You can feel the good energy and the good squallowing that we have here because we're all here united as one. Thank you very much, legislators. The next thing that we're moving on to is the third and final reading of Bill 002, 2026, the Property Taxation Amendment Act. I'm going to open up the table for any questions that legislators might have about this bill. Just any final points of clarification before we vote on Bill 002. Legislators, do you have any thoughts or clarifying questions in order to enable your vote on this bill? The Property Taxation Amendment Act 2026. We've done a lot of good work this session, and so legislators, I'm going to move forward and read the motion to approve Bill 002, 2026, and then ask for a mover and a seconder. Motion to approve Bill 002, 2026, the Property Taxation Amendment Act. Whereas the Tsawwassen Legislature has the authority under Section 512C of the Constitution Act to enact Tsawwassen laws, and whereas under the Legislature Rules and Procedures Manual, Section 23, each bill must receive 3 separate readings. And whereas the Tsawwassen Legislature has conducted 3 separate readings of Bill 002, 2026, the Property Taxation Amendment Act 2026, therefore be it moved that the Tsawwassen Legislature approve Bill 002, 2026, the Property Taxation Amendment Act. May I please have a mover? Moved by Legislature Taylor Baker. May I please have a seconder? Seconded by Legislature Laquolia Tia Williams. All in favor, please raise your hand. Thank you, legislatures. This motion has been carried unanimously. Bill 003, 2026, the Community Safety Amendment Act. We're in the 3rd meeting. I think that because this is, I'm just going to maybe ask for a roundtable on this amendment act as well. Paul, we're going to do the same thing that we did last time. We're going to start off with Legislature Kathy, and we'll just have any opportunity for any final comments and whether you are in support or not, or anything that you'd like to share on the Community Safety Amendment Act 2026, Bill 003, 2026. So that's the changes to the Community Safety Act. Legislator Tiesmelot, Kathy Genge.
Well, I really don't have too much to say about this. This community safety is really something that we've been looking forward to for quite some time, that we need safety all the way around, not just the drugs and alcohol, but everything else that's involved. Thank you.
OCM Heichka Legislature. Legislature Taylor Baker.
Heichka Paul for the feather. Yes, I'll be in support of this Amendment Act as well. I'm really pleased to see that we discussed this at this session. One of my first resolutions I brought to this table was to amend this Community Safety Act that we have at TFN, and I'm really pleased to see the work in progress over the years and see this now be discussed at the table. More work to come on it. Looking forward to collaborating with the community safety panel on next steps. But yeah, I'll be in support of this and I think it's a really great first step. Haichka.
Haichka Legislature Pelihua, Don Williams.
Haichka Squeakle Sam, Haichka Paul for the Feather. Yes, I will be supporting this one as well, and I look forward to the more work that's put into this act. It's so important for our members, and I appreciate the staff and all the work and consultation with the members thus far. So yeah, I just look forward to that and getting more input from the community and to go through with the second part of this act and to see where all that takes us. Haichka.
Haichka Legislator Halka Matia, Louise Alm.
Haichka for the Feather, Paul. Haichka Squeakle Sam. Yeah, I sit on the panel for this, for the Community Safety Board as well, and it's a lot of work, but this is just one small step to quite a few steps we're going to have to take to try to improve community safety. It's something that's close to my heart. I mean, getting safety in our community is really important, and maybe it's because it's not like any other neighboring community. We know each other, we're family, and to get everybody healthy and safe and going in the right direction would be one big success story. So, Haichka.
Haichka Legislature Kuyakuya, Andrea Jacobs.
Haichka Squeakle Siam, Haichka Feather Runner for the Feather. It's been really great to see the comments around the community safety strategy. I guess one of what I really like is the dispatch, having one place for people to call. The process isn't easy for hasn't been easy for members or consistent, so I think it just makes sense to have that, and so I really look forward to that. And yeah, I think that was it. I look forward to, I like that EC has a phased approach, and look forward to the community consultation as well for members on and off Tawasin lands. Our members should feel safe, and I think that's the goal for everybody around the table. So Haichka Squeakle Siam.
Haichka Legislature Spalaktwit, Harry Splachton.
Haichka Squeakle, thank you, Feather Runner. I am also in support of this bill, or yeah, and I also sit, oh my goodness, sorry. I also sit on the committee, and it is a lot of work, and can't wait for the outcome of this. Oh my goodness, the community safety. Haichka.
OCM Haichka Legislature Sultanat, Loretta Williams.
Okay, Haichka for the Feather and Haichka Squeakle. You know, like when I hear safety, I think of our Delta Police Department and, you know, having them more involved with our community events and everything. And sometimes people need to be invited personally and have them come to our lunches sometimes, you know, because a lot of people don't know who these folks are, and it would be nice to see this. So, you know, like we know that our community is safe. And yeah, there's more to say, but that's good enough for now. Haichka.
Haichka Legislator to William, Bryce Williams.
Haichka Paul for the Feather. I'm super supportive of this work, and it's super important work. I think it's work that needs to be done to help support our youth and our children. Yeah, I think that's really what this is all about. Of course, all members are important, but just really want to lift up our children and the youth to grow up in a safe healthy place to live and work and grow a family of their own and things like that. So just happy where we are when it comes to starting off this work, and look forward to what's going to come out of it. Heichka to everybody involved, and I'm just happy to be involved with that. Thank you.
Hitchcock Legislature Lexington, Trent Genge.
Thanks, Paul, for the feather. Like just basically to echo basically what everyone's kind of saying, that we're all in support of this bill, and I'd like to thank the committee for their hard work and kind of giving direction for what we're planning to happen, and just to have all the band members involved in some of these meetings to get their point of view on everything. I know it's a lot of work and it's hard, stressful talks, so I just like to thank everybody.
Hitchcock Legislator Squamiah, Melinda Cassidy.
Hitchcock Squeakle and Hitchcock for the feather. I am in support of the Community Safety Amendment Act. And I'm really looking forward to the consultation and input that we'll have on the community safety regulation to support this act. Hitchcock.
Hitchcock Legislator Marianne Adams.
Hitchcock Squeakle Siam and Hitchcock Paul again for the feather. I am in full support of this Amendment Act for the community safety as well as all the other legislators that have spoken. And it's something that TFN has definitely needed for many, many decades. And it's just heartwarming to see the work that the panel has done. And I've had a family meeting regarding this, and it definitely was powerful to be able to put our say in that. And yeah, I am in full support. Hitchcock.
Hitchcock Legislator Lacolia, Tia Williams.
Hitchcock Squeakle Siam, Hitchcock Paul for the feather. I am in support of this, as this is a very necessary pillar of work that our community needs. And I like how the amendments will allow TFN to manage how harmful activity is conducted or taken care of in the community, and looking forward to the ability for the community to implement it with DPD and the community consultations. And I do agree that it is helpful to have meet and greets with the DPD representatives and even the bylaw. And I understand that these folks are out there working, driving around, they're attending to all these different issues, but it is helpful. Like when I think back to being a youth and having a lot of different interactions at the youth center, at different community events and fundraisers, they were always present and we all knew who they were. And I would appreciate seeing some of those representatives more.
Hitchcock Legislator Squamiah, Chief Laura Cassidy.
Hitchcock Squeakle and Hitchcock Paul for the feather. Yeah, I'll be in full support of this, and I'm glad we're able to bring the first phase here to the table. And I know a lot of hard work has gone into it, and at least we're doing it in phases so we can slowly tackle it all. And I appreciate all the work that the panels put into it and all the community input from everybody here, and it's just something that I know has been always really close to everyone's heart. So I just want to say I appreciate all the work, and I guess we'll look forward to the future work that will be done. I know it's a sensitive, hard topic to deal with, but I'm glad we're tackling it. So Hitchcock, thank you.
Hitchcock Chief. Thank you, everyone, for your comments. I would like to proceed with reading the motions to approve Bill 003-2026 and then ask for a mover and seconder. Motion to approve Bill 003-2026, the Community Safety Act, Amendment Act 2026. Whereas the Tsawwassen Legislature has the authority under Section 512C of the Constitution Act to enact Tsawwassen laws, And whereas under the Legislature Rules and Procedures Manual, Section 23, each bill must receive 3 separate readings. And whereas the Tsawwassen Legislature has conducted 3 separate readings of Bill 003-2026, the Community Safety Amendment Act 2026, therefore be it moved that Tsawwassen Legislature approves Bill 002-2026, the Community Safety Amendment Act 2026. May I please have a mover? Moved by Legislature Chief Laura Cassidy, seconded by Legislature Squamosat. I just did that. Legislature Spaloptowit, Terry Splachton. I think I caught your contagious little wording problem there for a second. To mover and seconder. All in favor, please raise your hands. Thank you, legislators. That motion was carried unanimously. Whew, there was a lot of words going on there. Thank you very much, legislators. All right, I'd like to move now on to the discussion and vote on the legislature's resolutions. We have one resolution, and the first resolution is we're considering tonight, the only resolution that we're considering tonight is the resolution for the Tsawwassen First Nation government to explore acquiring additional commercial crab licenses for members to lease. As a reminder, this resolution asks Executive Council to explore the acquisition of additional commercial crab licenses for members to lease, including the consideration of cost, member interest, and potential economic impact, and report back to the legislature with recommendations. Legislator Taylor Baker is the mover, and Legislator Andrea Jacobs is the seconder. I would now like to invite Legislator Taylor to give us a brief summary for bringing this forward, and then we'll have time to discuss. Legislator Taylor Baker.
Heichka Paul for the feather, and Heichka Squeakle for the opportunity to share. I'm bringing forward this resolution tonight on resolution for Tsawwassen First Nation government to explore acquiring additional commercial crab licenses for members to lease. Like I mentioned at our last session, for full transparency, I'm a crabber in the community and I currently lease one of the TFN commercial crab licenses. TFN currently only has about 4 commercial licenses that members lease, so I'd like to see this be increased. TFN holds a lottery draw, and that's done every few years, and the lease isn't a lifetime lease to the member, so it allows for all crabbers to have an opportunity. I'm bringing this forward today because I believe our crabbers in the community need more commercial opportunity to create employment and provide for their families. We have a growing fishing community across our nation. More and more individuals are being mentored out in the water by their friends and family, and more individuals are buying their own vessels to go out on their own. We hear and see time and time again that we cannot rely on salmon for generations to come for not only food, but also an economic source. TFN also leases commercial salmon licenses to members, but they have not been utilized in years due to the declining salmon stocks through TFN territory and lack of commercial salmon openings. I hear that other nations have been purchasing more licenses, commercial licenses for their communities for economic opportunity, and I'd like to see TFN do more in that area for our people and to see more individuals on the water in our territory receiving those same benefits. Would you like me to go ahead and read the resolution?
Yes, please, legislator.
Heichka Squeakle. Resolution for Tsawwassen First Nation government to explore acquiring additional commercial crab licenses for members to lease. Whereas the Tsawwassen First Nation Strategic Plan 2026 to 2031 identifies member economic well-being, access to healthy traditional foods, exercise of harvesting rights, and sustainable economic development through TFN-led investments and initiatives as key priorities. Whereas salmon stocks throughout the Tsawwassen territory have continued to decline, resulting in significant reductions in harvesting opportunities and limiting the economic value of existing commercial salmon licenses that are held by members. And whereas expanding access to commercial crab licenses would provide members with more stable and more viable opportunities for income generation, strengthen food security for member families and the nation, and support cultural continuity through the ongoing practice of marine harvesting. Therefore, be it resolved that the Tsawwassen Legislature requests that Executive Council explore the acquisition of additional commercial crab licenses for members to lease, including a consideration of costs, member interests, and potential economic impact, and report back to the legislature with recommendations. Heichka.
Heichka Legislature Taylor Baker, I really appreciate you sharing the background and the rationale and then rereading the motion. Legislators, I open up the table to see if you have any questions, points of clarification about this resolution. Legislator Sultanat, Loretta Williams.
Okay, Heichka for the feather. So I think this is a really good opportunity, but my question is, how much does commercial crab license cost? And how many crabbers do we have registered in Tsawwassen? Okay, Heichka.
Heichka Legislator, for those questions. Legislator Baker, are you, do you have that access to that information?
Heichka, Paul for the feather. Yeah, I met with the manager of natural resources and the director of territory management prior to bringing this resolution forward. And while I don't have specific answers, I know Tsawwassen First Nation government can receive commercial licenses for probably half or a quarter of the cost of a regular license that is available for a member to buy per se. While I don't have that number handy, maybe it's something that territory management, the director of territory management can inform legislators on. And your question about how many crabbers are in the community, I would say it's well over a dozen. Those with their own vessels, probably around a dozen. Not sure if any other legislators want to add comments to that, but it's a growing community of those going out with their friends and families, like I mentioned. So I think in the upcoming years, we're going to have a lot more individuals and young ones partaking on their own vessel and their own opportunities. So I see that number increasing.
Heichka Legislature Lucolia, Tia Williams. Now you could go to her, Paul. Even Thank you.
Heichka Squeakle and Paul for the feather. Thank you for presenting this resolution. So you said there's about 4 commercial licenses that TFN currently has. What do you envision the need to be? Like how many licenses do you think we would need to increase it to? And I don't know if you said this, but how many years between each draw? That's it. Thanks.
Heichka Legislator for the question. Legislator Taylor Baker.
Heichka, Paul, do you have a Fitbit? You're going to get a lot of steps tonight. And Heichka Lucolia for the question. Your first question, my mind just went blank.
Expansion, how much do you expect it?
Yes, thank you for the reminder. I'm not sure. I think in terms of cost, I think that would be a good first step. At least, I don't know. I would love to envision at least 2 to 3 more because we only currently have 4. But of course, that is up to the numbers maybe that we can get in the research that we'll do. In terms of licenses, the year, that's your second question, how long they are. I believe it depends, 9 to 10 years. And then the draws happen when they expire. So I wouldn't say it's every year or 2 there's a draw because it depends when the license lease date ends. So I don't have an exact answer on that. But once they expire, they'll do a lottery draw for those members that are interested.
I happen to have the eyeball of a natural resources person, and I think she said 8 years. Yeah, 8 years is the length of the license. Oh, so there can be some flexibility. Okay, Heichka. All right, thank you. Any other questions, legislators? Legislator Quacquia, Andrea Jacobs.
Heichka Squeakle CM, Heichka Paul for the feather, and Squeakle for allowing me to speak. Just really thank Legislator Taylor Baker for bringing this forward. really supportive of it. I would love to see another 3 or 4 licenses. I think, yeah, the draws don't happen every few years, like sometimes 4 or 5 years, depending on it. So it would be cool if it was staggered to give more opportunities for our crabbers. And it sounds like the fishing licenses haven't been renewed, and it doesn't sound like they're going to be. So really, I think it's a great opportunity to explore, and just want to thank you and supportive of this as well. And I look forward to, I really enjoyed hearing from our natural resources and how we're bartering and trading. I think it's really cool that we're doing that work as well. So it's all for the better, greater good. So just thank you.
Hajka Legislator. Oh, Legislature Halkamatia, Louise Alm.
This would have been nice to bring up probably at the beginning of our budget thing, so we won't have to make an amendment, but I am still in support of it. It's a good idea. I know we received a lot of natural resource money from our port deals that we had in, so we've got a big pot of money to draw from for this, and the fishermen do need some support for things that the hardships, the decline in fish, and now with the port going to be expanded in the near future, and it might be a bit tricky about crab and thing, but maybe we can get creative and find spots to put additional crab licenses. But we do have a big pot of money to draw from for this, and the idea was to support fishermen, and this here is in the right direction, so I'll support it. Hajka.
Hajka Legislator. I think that there's some great work that could be happening as a result of this resolution, and clearly there's some innovative things that need to be happening, and that's typically what we do. Tsawwassen First Nation is we are innovative when things are not as plentiful. We create opportunities to change that direction. Thank you, legislators. I think I'll move on now to call for a vote on this resolution. Thank you for tabling it, Legislator Taylor Baker, seconding it, Kwakia and Andrea Jacobs. All in favor of this resolution, please raise your hand high. Thank you, legislators. This resolution has been approved. I think we've been moving along quite nicely. We have 2 more items. Let's just call for a 10-minute break. Hajka. That was a good break. Moving on to our next item, the report on appointments to the Standing Committee on Language and Culture. And what I'd like to do is first invite Chief Swamiset, Laura Cassidy, to read the motion. She'll be the mover and call for a seconder. And then I'm going to invite Crystal Gurniak, the Director of Member Services, to come up and give a presentation. Chief?
Hachka Skoiko and Hachka Paul for the Feather. Motion to confirm appointments for the Standing Committee on Language and Culture for the period of 2026 to 2031. Whereas under the Section 11.2 of the Culture and Heritage Act, the members of the Standing Committee on Language and Culture must be appointed by the TFN Legislature on the recommendation of the Chief. And whereas under the Section 11.5 of the Culture and Heritage Act, the composition of the committee must be, to the extent possible, representative of the historic family groupings. And whereas the terms of reference for the SCLC set out a 5-year term for appointments to the committee, commencing from the spring 2021 session of the legislature, and whereas, I won't read out my name, but I made the following recommendations for appointments to the SCLC for the term spring 2026 to spring 2031. I guess we'll start off with myself as a continuing member, Loretta Williams, continuing member, Daryl Splotton Jr., continuing member, Kim Baird, continuing member, Andrea Jacobs, a new member, Connie Adams, a new member. Therefore, it be moved that the above-named TWASN members be appointed to the SCLC for a 5-year term starting from spring 2026.
Hachka Legislator Chief Cassidy, may I have a seconder? Seconded by Legislator Marianne Adams. Thank you very much. Now, if I could invite Lacquia, Director of Member Services, Crystal Gurniak, to present a report.
Hachka Squeakquel and Hachka Paul for the Feather. I'm bringing forward the report on the appointment on the Standing Committee on Language and Culture for the spring 2026. This report is presented for the legislature's consideration and to support the Chief's recommendation for appointments on the Standing Committee on Language and Culture as required under the Culture and Heritage Act. And the composition should, to the extent possible, reflect TWASN family groupings. The Standing Committee on Language and Culture plays an important role in protecting and promoting TWASN culture, language, advising on policies and programs, funding, and related cultural purposes. Staff contacted all current committee members to confirm their interest in continuing on with the committee or identifying an alternative representative from their family groupings. The four, as the Chief said, are the current members that still would like to continue on the committee. As the Chief said, is Laura Cassidy, Daryl Splotton Jr., Loretta Williams, and Kim Baird. Tony Jacobs has requested that his daughter, Andrea Jacobs, be appointed in his place. And I want to acknowledge Tony Jacobs for his contributions to the committee. In addition, the Chief recommended Connie Adams as a new member in recognition of her strong involvement in TWASN culture, particularly her work supporting and engaging in the youth and the cultural activities. The recommendation before the legislature is to support the Chief's appointment of the following individuals on the Standing Committee on Language and Culture: Laura Cassidy, Kim Baird, Loretta Williams, Andrea Jacobs, Daryl Splotton Jr., and Connie Adams. These appointments ensure the committee meets legislative requirements and can continue its important work in advancing TWASN culture and language. Hachka.
Thank you so much for that brief report, Lacquia. Legislators, do you have any questions or comments about this report and motion? Legislator Kwiakwia, Andrea Jacobs.
Hajka Squeakle CM, Hajka Lakwia for the presentation. I really like the idea of having a youth representative on there. I think it's really great. Sometimes it's not easy to get that representation on our committees, and for such an important committee, I just really appreciate that. I think it's great. So supportive of that as well. I think that's all I have to say about that.
Hajka Legislator Taylor Baker.
Hajka Paul for the feather and Hajka Crystal for the report. Yes, I'll be in support of this as well, echoing Legislator Andrea's comments on it's great to have a youth on this, and it just had me thinking about how many committees that we have at TFN, and I'm reading, what the SCLC and their mandates do. We have so many committees and different areas and different work that they do. It'd be nice to have like maybe a pamphlet or even just more like social media postings on like what each committee does and who's on it, and do some spotlights of those people. Just because the SCLC in general and other committees, there is people that have been sitting on those committees for a very long time. So it'd be nice to just highlight and recognize that a little bit more, I think. But yeah, really appreciate this report. Congratulations to Andrea and Connie, and looking forward to hearing more about the work that you guys will be doing.
Hajka Legislator Sultanat Loretta Williams.
Okay, Hajka for the feather. And thanks for the report. I've been on this committee for a few years now, and, you learn so much. And it's the biggest thing that is drilled in is respect. Respect for the people, their opinions, and for the work that they do. And I'm hoping that I'm respectful to all of you guys. And I'm so thankful that Daryl, I can't remember his name, but he has shared his wisdom, like he's a young character, but, he's got he's lots of knowledge, and, and I appreciate his teachings. And welcome aboard, so, and you too. Okay, but either way, but it's a good committee, and I'm not too sure when we're meeting again, because the last time we had one, can't remember. Okay, Hajka.
Hajka Legislator Spiloctowit, Terry Spilocton, I believe it's Quiqualuk is Daryl Spilocton Jr.'s name. Hajka.
Hajka Squeakle, thank you for the runner. Thank you for the report. Sorry. First, I want to thank the continuing members of the SCLC, and also welcome Andrea and Connie as the new member. I also want to acknowledge Tony for his contributions. And I do have one question. Will there be opportunities for, I know we don't have, I'll just ask a question. Will there be opportunities for language speaker to be involved or mentored through the committee's work? Hajka.
Hajka Legislator Lakwia, Crystalline.
Hajka Squeakle and Hajka Paul for the feather. I wouldn't see why not. Yes, I would think so. And I think the language and culture staff sometimes participate in those meetings anyway, so that probably more than likely will continue.
Hajka. Any other comments or questions about the Standing Committee on Language and Culture appointments for this term? Legislator Laquila, Tila Williams.
Hajka Squeakle and Paul for the feather. I appreciate being able to see this report, and more of a comment. I deeply respect the guidance that we receive from the Standing Committee on Language and Culture whenever we we need it, and helping us make decisions not on our own, but as a group together, having a unified decision made so we can walk strong, tall, and, strong mind, strong heart. So, Hajka.
Lucian, Hajka. Legislature Sultanat, Loretta Williams.
Okay, thanks for the feather. Just a comment that was a response to another legislator. I believe all these committee meetings are open to our nation. So if people want to participate in any of these, I think they're more than welcome to. And I think that's really good. I had something else to say, but it will come back to me. Okay, Hajka.
Hajka legislators. We're very fortunate with the wisdom that this committee has provided to guiding our government work, our cultural work, our programming work at times. We've reached out to that committee seeking advice in times when we're confused about different things and not sure how to manage things. People from that committee that have now retired their roles and are, living a well-deserved break and passing that baton on to others. And just as we do in our ways, mentoring and teaching the younger generation to step into these roles. And we see a chapter moving on as people have given a great contribution to the work and guided us to how even this very table operates, from the ceremonial processions to the feathers, and along with the uncles and other knowledge keepers and elders that we have. But the Standing Committee has always been a group that we've leaned on and leaned into. So we're very grateful for their work. Thank you, legislators, for your comments. I think that now I would like to call for a vote. Remembering that Chief Swamisat was the mover and was the seconder. Legislator Marianne was the seconder. That was my stage whisper, wasn't too great. Sorry about that. And so all in favor of the appointments, please raise your hand. Thank you, legislators. This motion has been carried unanimously. Well, my relatives, we have reached the final item of our agenda for this evening, and it's the closing remarks. Tisalat, as you know, you're going to be first, so I'm giving you a few moments there to organize your thoughts and prepare yourself. We'll give 1 or 2 minutes to each legislature for some closing comments for the spring 2026 legislative session. I'll speak, and then we'll allow our respected chief to go last. So Paul, we're going to be doing a roundtable similar to what we did before, and we're going to start first here with Legislator Kathy Ganj-Tiesmelot. And legislators, remember to pass the feather back to our feather runner after you speak. Hajka.
Good evening, everyone. I think we've had a good session this term, and it's hard to believe that this is going to be our last sitting for this term. And good luck to everybody who's going to run for the next term. I'd like to thank everybody in the galley and all the staff for all the hard work that they've done, and for these guys sitting behind me. They do an awful lot of hard work also. I know people don't see them, but they're there. Yeah, so that's about all I have to say. Yeah, because I haven't been feeling too well lately, so that's all I've got to say. Thank you.
Hajka, Legislator Tiesmelot, and I'm glad that you're sitting at this table and they're feeling a bit better. Legislator Taylor Baker.
Hajka Paul for the feather, and Hajka Squeakquel to share some closing remarks. Yeah, at the beginning of February, I looked at my calendar and I was like, oh no. We've had a busy few weeks, so it was kind of bittersweet when I saw my calendar today. It was the last session. I've really enjoyed sitting around this table with you all. As Legislator Kathy mentioned, unless we have a summer session, this could be our last sitting all together. I've learned a lot from all of you, and I've really, learned a lot and respected all of you guys' opinions. And I love the debate. I love that we are able to, sometimes we have different opinions, but I think that's what makes us such a good group, where we can discuss and debate certain things that are important to us. So I really enjoyed the last few weeks. Can't believe it's been 6 weeks. Always look forward to dinner. So thank you to all our cooks for providing us with meals and leftovers and desserts. We're spoiled. And thank you to all the drummers, singers, and those that gave prayers to start us off and ending our night in good ways. Really looking forward to the next few months. We got exciting stuff going on in our territory. We have more recreation opportunities opening up at the mall at the Nest, more unveiling of house posts going around in the territory, more ceremonies. So I'm looking forward to gathering with the community and you all in the next couple of months, and have a happy Easter coming up. Haichka.
Haichka Legislator Pelihua, Don Williams.
Haichka Squeakle Siam, Haichka Paul for the Feather. I'd just like to say how much I appreciate sitting at this table and being a voice for all of the members, thinking about our various conversations with different members on lands and off, and kind of compiling all those conversations together to represent them as well, because I'm not here just for myself, but to try to benefit other members as well. It's not always easy to bring forward some of the difficult conversations, but it's always meant to be with good intentions and to never be taken negative. And we're not meant to agree on everything, but we must always be respected, especially when there are varying opinions. That's the main reason why we're here. And I think if we didn't have any comments, discussions, that, this table would look a lot different. And I appreciate the round table. I appreciate the comments from all the fellow legislators, because it's very important. And, I feel we can always do more, and we're doing our best, and we're putting every effort forward, and I just love to see that. I like to thank the staff for all their hard work, and all of those involved in any way from beginning to end for this session. And if we don't meet in the summer, just like to thank my fellow legislators for the time that we spent together here. Haichka.
Haichka Legislator Holkomatia, Louise Om.
Haichka Squeakle Siam and Haichka for the Feather Paul. It's always my favorite session, the budget. I love the numbers. I just want a big thank you to all of our cooks and to the advisory council for their input. Always like to hear those reports. Our feather runners, it's nice to have the youth involved with us, with our legislation. I just go to all the drummers. They're definitely our heartbeat. And to all the members that provided prayers for us before starting the session, and for blessing our meals. I just go to our Squeakle. She gives up a lot. She gives up her vote, and that, but and she keeps us in line. So Haichka for that. It's a big sacrifice, and really appreciate it. And you've done a really well job through this session. And big Haichka, I love you all. To our fellow legislators at this table, I love you all and wish the best for you moving forward with the next upcoming election. And Haichka to our staff of all the hard work putting all this together. Really appreciate it. I know a lot of work goes into that. And Haichka to all of our members that take time away from their families and witness the work that we do here. It's important, whether it be in person or online. It's I wish I could see the faces of people online. Just to see who takes the time to listen to what we have to say. And I think that's about it. Haichka, and thank you, everybody. It's been a hard session. It's always hard when we lose a elder through the session. So, thank you for everybody to accommodate our family through a hard time. Haichka.
Haichka Halkamatia. Legislature Kuyakuya, Andrea Jacobs.
Haichka Squeakle CM. Haichka Paul for the feather. I know a lot of it has already been said, but still would like to thank the drummers and the singers and for a ceremony that everybody comes and makes an effort, calling upon. A lot of the times it's the same people that come and they don't say no. And just want to thank them for coming. Our elders who sit here with us and our advisory council. I really appreciated the reports that came from the advisory council. There was long meetings, and that's in between. Our advisory sits here with us, and they have meetings in between, so they're meeting like 3 days a week, or they're with us. So just want to hold my hands up to advisory for being there for us as our backbone. And thank our feather runners. It's awesome to see you. It's great to see you here, Paul. Love that our youth get to sit here and witness. I really, really hope to see our youth legislature. Maybe we can put that. I would really like to see our youth legislature in place for the next sitting for legislature. It would be just so great if we could just get that rolling at the same time. And want to thank you, Squeakle, for giving up your vote and for keeping our decorum in here, allowing us to speak. I know I have a lot of questions and just want to thank you for your patience. I want to thank my fellow legislators for listening. And I think just for this budget, I really enjoyed seeing the community safety. We all have the same goal for our community. And to those who put resolutions on the table throughout for this legislature has been really great. Also I'll miss everybody at this table, but good luck in the next election. And I also want to thank our chief and executive council as well for your hard work this last term. That's not an easy job. So I want to thank you all for serving our people. And we have a lot of stuff going on in our community. I'm so proud. A lot of good events that are coming too. This Monday we have notices going out. We're going to be blessing our canoe on Monday. So you'll see a notice in the community about that as well. So, and then we have Treaty Day. There's always something going on. So we'll see each other again soon. Thank you. Haichka Squeakle CM.
Haichka Legislator Spalaktuit, Terry Splachton.
Haichka Squeakle, thank you, Feather Runner. Chief Laura, Executive Council, fellow legislators, staff, and our members here in the gallery and watching online. As we close the spring budget session, I want to take a few moments to reflect and say thank you. This is the highest governing body of Tsawwassen government. The laws we discuss here and the budget we pass affect our people today and into the future. The work we done at this table carries responsibility. This may be our last spring session of this term, unless we are called back in the summer. If that is the case, I want to say how honored I've been to work alongside each of you. Our motto is Natsama for current and future generations. Those words guide our decision. They remind us that we are thinking beyond today toward our children and grandchildren. I also want to thank our drummers and singers for your medicine, to those who open us with a prayer to start us off in a good way. To our feather runners, thank you for carrying that role with strength. And to the Advisory Council for bringing your voices forward before matters reach the table. To the TFN Judicial Council, thank you for upholding our laws and helping keep our system fair and accountable. To our staff, thank you for the preparation and work behind the scenes that make these sessions possible. And to our members here and those watching online, thank you for being present, open to meetings. Your presence strengthens transparency and accountability. It has been a privilege to serve during this term whatever comes next, I remain committed to doing this work in a good way. Always remember Otsamat for current and future generations. And also just want to announce that I'll be doing International Women's Day on Saturday at the Siathas Lalem. It will start at 10:30 a.m. And also I do want to say it would be nice if everyone would attend the canoe blessing. I've been working on, it's going to be all done in Hunkaminam. So I've been working on the speech for, we are going to have a youth, Dayton, to be our speaker to speak all in Hunkaminam. Haichka.
OCM Haichka Legislator Sultanat, Loretta Williams.
Okay, Haichka for the feather, and I'm not getting the last word, but for last, I usually do, right? But I want to say Haichka to the caterers, the drummers, the feather runners, Squeakquel, for being patient with all of us that have been asking questions. And, you know, like, I believe that if we don't know, we got to ask, you know, because sometimes we do know the answer, but it's for the people listening. So also, Haichka to the staff and being patient with us and all the other good stuff. And the advisory committee members that have participated in listening to what we're doing. And I appreciate the hard copies of notices and the documents here. So this is a little political commercial. This is a message for the future politicians. Watch for all the election information coming out soon, for this is an election year. And it's a 4-year commitment, so really think about what you want to do, because you have to give up your life for 4 years. You know, seriously. And it's been amazing. You learn a lot, and yeah, and you always get fed. So there you go. So I'm looking forward to participating in information meetings in regard to emergency management. I'm thinking we need to do that soon. You know, like we said a lot of things in the last few weeks, and hopefully we'll do all the follow-ups with all the departments because it's important. And a special thank you for the Squeakquel for doing the round table. I find this is one of the most important part of our government, is hearing what the other legislators have to say. All I got to say is, I'm lucky to be Tsawwassen, you know, and it's a privilege. We have food, we have shelter, we have clothing, we got health and physical activities and programs and recreation. And I totally appreciate all of that. And a suggestion, we're getting our legislative, or not our administrative building. And I'm listening to other people, and there's, you know, like I'm thinking it would be so cool to have a political timeline in the form of pictures, right from, you know, way back to recent, from this century, with pictures or, you know, like for the chiefs and the councils of that year, the photos and the terms that they had, right? Because I'm thinking about the elders that, or the past chiefs that have shared their knowledge and their history with us. I'm thinking of late Russell Williams and Tony Jacobs, you know, like they're always shared the history of what we're discussing. And I think that's important. So I'm thinking, I'm not too sure what the administration has planned, but that's a suggestion, you know, like, and I'm not sure if you guys all agree with it, but I do. Just kidding, just kidding. You know, like it's been interesting. And we've been trying to get a photo of all of us for months and months. And I'm thinking it was just like a family. You know, there's always 1 or 2 people missing. So today we got everybody. But thanks, you guys did a really great job posing. Okay, Haichka.
Haichka Legislator Tequilum, Bryce Williams.
Haichka Squeakquel CM, Haichka Paul for the feather. And Heichka to everybody for the remarks so far. Continuing on with the Heichkas, I'd just like to say thank you to all the TFN people, guests in person and online. And I'd like to say thank you, big Heichka, to the CAO and staff for helping to put this budget together and this session together. Heichka to the Advisory Council for all of their hard work and input. And big Heichka to our feather runners. Great work. Also, thank you to everybody that's provided prayers. And big Heichka to the cooks and caterers. Really good food all around. Hands up to the drummers and singers, and just thankful for so many different people these days sharing their voice and singing, and it's just super uplifting, and I really love where the direction where we're going with that. There's a lot of people that are coming out and finding their voice, so being able to provide that at different events and meetings and things like that is super powerful. So really happy to have that occurring, and to be able to witness that is great. So encouraging people to continue on and keep stepping up and finding their voice. Also, a big Heichka to our Squaiquo. Thank you for having these meetings held in such a good way. I think there's a lot of good discussion that happens around the table, and you help guide that, and just thanking you for that. As it's been stated around the table, we have a bright future with so many opportunities. I'm just so thankful to be Tawasin and to have those opportunities, for my son to have those opportunities, and just not, of course, all members. And it's amazing to be from this nation and to be where we're at in this moment in time. Heichka to my colleagues around the table for your time and energy. Thank you for your time away from your families, making that sacrifice, and Heichka for putting your name forward to represent our community and have a say and a voice, and stand up for what you believe for what you believe in, and what you believe in is right. It's really great to see. I love my community, and I'll always have a voice for my people. And good luck to everybody running in the next election. OCM.
Heichka Legislature Luxton, Trent Genge.
Thank you, Paul, for the feather. I'd like to thank Squeako for all her hard work, and it's hard to keep everybody in line, but she has a good sense of humor that kind of offsets it. So, but I'd like to thank the cooks for their good meals and the prayers and the drumming. The drumming is our heartbeat, and for me personally, it brings you grounded when the singing does happen. And I'd like to thank the staff for all their hard work, for getting all these numbers and programs in line for everybody. And hopefully we look forward to helping the other people, our members that live off the reserve too, where they can benefit on some of these things. I know it's a tall task, but I'd like to thank all my fellow legislators here. It's more like a family. But I'm very proud to be here, so Heichka.
Heichka Legislature Swamia, Linda Cassidy.
Heichka Squeakle and Heichka for the feather. I can understand the emotions. It is really emotional thinking that this is potentially our last session of this term. It has been an honor to sit at the table with all of my fellow legislators. I think we should be proud of all of the work that we've accomplished during this term. I would like to thank Executive Council, Chief and Executive Council for all of their hard work. And my hands go up to the Squeakquel. You keep us on time. You keep us in line. You guide us. A special thanks to all the drummers, those that have done the prayers, the cooks and caterers, to our feather runners. During this term, these last 4 years, each of those roles have had new people step up, and that's just such a great thing to see. I would also like to thank all the staff, the audio visuals, the Finance and Audit Committee, our special guests, our advisory council, and to all the members who attend our meetings and who view online. I'm really thankful to live and work in this community. Haichka.
Haichka Legislator Marianne Adams.
Haichka Squeakle Siam and Haichka Paul for the feather. I'd like to first say thank you to our Squeakle for keeping us in line and helping us get through these meetings in a very sound and polite way. And to all the cooks and the drummers and the feather runners and the advisory council for, like Kuya said, they're here they're doing the hard work for almost 3 days in a row, and it's definitely takes a lot of time and effort, so I'm really appreciative. And thank you to the staff and the sound guys back there and and everyone that's just put their heart and soul into this. It's heartwarming that we've all sat around this table and done, I believe, some great work, and I'm just honored and grateful to have been here and sitting here with everyone here. Yeah, I just look forward to seeing everyone again at these upcoming events, and yeah, my heart is full and I'm just really grateful. Haichka Siam.
Haichka Legislator Lakulia, Tia Williams.
Haichka Squeakle Siam, Haichka Paul for the feather. I'm so incredibly happy to be closing this term on a high note. We've done so much more than just pass a monumental budget. We've seen TFN housing initiatives come to fruition. Our elder centers become a vibrant and functional heart for our community. And we've launched so much more member-facing programming that truly serves our people. And it's always around the end of the budget session, I always reflect back on history to think about the Indian Act and how far we've come in the last 15 years as a treaty nation. And, you know, it was illegal for us to own land and hire a lawyer and gather in groups of more than 3, because everything that we've done together would have been illegal. So I think we've come quite a long way. And all the singers and the drummers and those who offered our prayers and the feather runners have helped ground us and lift our spirits and keep us moving. And all the chefs that made the incredible meals, we are so lucky. Every meal is solid and it sustained us through all of this hard work. And I want to thank my family for their patience and the time sacrificed so I could focus on this important work. I'm really grateful for my community in trusting me with this role, and I've really enjoyed my time here. Wow, I didn't expect to get emotional, you guys. But at the end, I'd really like to thank my fellow legislators and advisory council for all of the guidance over the years. It's been an honor and a privilege to serve amongst you. Haichka.
Haichka Legislator, thank you so much for all of your comments. Paul, I'm going to speak first, and I have my own feather, and then Chief will speak, and then you can give the feather to her when she's ready. Thank you, Paul. Haisapka to Haichka to all. Thank you very much. I just have so much gratitude for my nieces, nephews, cousins, aunties, uncles, sisters that are around this table, and how we do this work together, how we model what it is like to have differing views, but still treat each other with respect and kindness. This table has a big responsibility of modeling what we can do together, even when we are not having the same kind of vision, maybe not the same kind of ideas. We have the same vision. And I think that respecting each other's voices, as it's been said, even though there's times when we might not be exactly on the same page, but we are all working together for the same goal. And I think there's a certain beauty in that work. And I feel like the ancestors are with us and guiding us and helping us and supporting us, especially at times when it's difficult and you might not want to be able to speak up, and you have that ancestors saying there, your voice is important. Speak up, share your voice. Thank you for the privilege of being able to set this table so that each and every one of you feel comfortable to share your voice and be respectful to each other. I'm so grateful to the membership that Tsawwassen Misteu that have come and witnessed the work, either in their roles as a member, their roles on advisory committee, and roles on a different committee. Really grateful that they're here to support us, because that support means a big deal. And now I also want to echo the comments of thanking our staff. That's a lot of work here. And it's been a long time, but I've been in those shoes of organizing this work, and it's probably doubled or tripled in the size load. But I feel like, I did good by handing the baton, over. And I remember coming up and presenting at budgets. And so thank you very much to all the staff that sacrificed time away from their families. I want to thank the cooks, because their food is so amazing, but my clothes don't thank them. I think I've gained at least 3 to 5 pounds during this session. So that's how good the food is. And I really want to say thank you to the cooks, because I don't always eat before I do this work, and they've all set aside food and make sure that I was taken care of. So thank you so very much. I'm also very, very grateful for the ceremony and the culture that I don't want to say weave, but that we live at this table. It's what guides us, what helps us course correct if we happen to be off, and it's what we turn to when we're uncertain. And that's the strength of our culture and our ceremony and our teaching. So it's very heartwarming to see the youth and our younger generation coming up. And the comments about that we've got new people that are coming in to support that work, to support us, because we can't do this work without that community support. And I just want to say thank you to all the legislators for acknowledging that as here, it's my job not to have an opinion. It's not my job to have a vote. My job is to create a safe space for you each to have that conversation, that debate, and ask those questions so that you have all the information you need to vote in the way that you think is best for the people that you serve. So thank you for that acknowledgement and the privilege of sitting up in this role. I feel very honored and humbled to be here, especially given my predecessors that set the bar really high in this role. So Heichka, I don't have good chicken stories like Thamit, but I hope to be able to create an environment that makes you think curiously, enjoy a little bit of humor, feel safe to have some strong emotions, and at the end feel like you've done a good job. With all the sacrifices that we've made with our families, our work, and sometimes even having to be an elected official, we make sacrifices, brings great reward. And I see that we are rewarded, we have great rewards because of the sacrifices that we've made. So thank you so much for the opportunity to share a few words. I'd now like to invite Chief Swanisat Laura Cassidy to say her final closing remarks. Heichka.
Heichka Squeakle Siam and Heichka Paul for the Feather. It's hard to follow all of yous. You've all shared really wonderful words. And I'd just like to probably echo a lot of them. I'd just like to start off by saying it was an it's an honor to sit here at the table with all of you and hear all your comments or your questions. It just feels so good to be here with you all. And I just want to say, Hechka, I'll repeat everything that everyone else has said, for the prayers, for the drummers, cooks, feather runners, the Squeakle for her role. She's done amazing. The advisory council for all their input, for all the people that come and witness our sessions and all the ones that join us online. And to our staff, all the hard work that they put in and the ones that are here every evening, and like our policy team, they're here and they're sitting in the hot seat and making sure we have all the right documents and everything all for us to have it all in hand for us to work with. And it seems like every year this, the way this budget's put together, it's, I know Mark, and then they juggle it all around to make it so we can understand it more easily. And it seems to flow better each year. And I really appreciate that. And it's just great to reflect back, like on what some of you have shared, just on all the successes we have done during this term, like with all of us, like with the housing that's happening, the health and wellness programs, the safety programs, like there's been a lot of really good work here, and I just appreciate all the input that has happened and how we've managed to implement some of those programs and get things going. And I could go on for a long time here, but I won't. I'd like to say thank you to for your guys' patience. I know we had to miss one evening of the legislature because of the passing of our uncle. As Val mentioned, just tonight, just looking at the feathers that we've all put in the mantle, I think of our uncles and them at the Victoria at the legislature, and Uncle Gordon and Uncle Ray. I remember we're kind of looking around, where are they, and then I think Kim found out that they're still sitting in the legislature watching it all, and they're just shaking their heads when we finally caught up with them and got them back, and they were just so disgusted at how it all worked. They said they can't make decisions when they're yelling and screaming at each other like that. And that's how we came to the one talking feather, because they said we all can't hold a feather. And I was just reflecting back on when we first chose the feathers. I think there's a few eagles there, and we just picked all the nicest ones. We had an elder do it, and it all worked out good. And then the next session, I thought I would talk to the elder. I was talking away with him, and I says, I'm just thinking maybe, for us to all work as one, I'm just thinking back on what the uncles were saying. We should make sure all these eagles, or these feathers, come from one eagle, so we'll all work stronger together. And he said, yes, I agree. And that's what we did from then on. And so I was really thinking of that, and how we've been practicing that. And we're just talking about getting the feathers ready for the next term. But I think with everything that we've learned from our elders, it does give us strength, and and I could see us working as one. And I just really appreciate all the teachings and stuff that we have learned from our elders. And I just want to say, when we lost our uncle, I remember still the look on Louise's face. She looked at me and she says, "What are we going to do? We have to be the ones to answer all the questions now." And yeah, so some of us are elders, and we have lost a generation of elders this past year. And I think we can see a piece, you know, those elders within each of the people around here. You guys are all carrying on for your families and for our ancestors, and I just want to say you guys are doing a great job. So I just want to end it that way. Hitchka.
Well, Hitchka Hasapka legislatures, thank you for your closing comments. Thank you for your care and your intention and the responsibility that you brought to this entire session. Thank you for your voices, your deliberation, your heart, your commitment to the Tsawwassen Mistayuch. And thank you for the reflection of the teachings that were handed down to us that show up in your words and in your presence, much just like what Chief Swamisat just shared. There's much gratitude for your work, and with all that work that we've done, we have now concluded all of our formal business this evening and this session. We lift our hands to all those that helped us in this gathering in a good way and a respectful way. To all the prayers, to today, to my cousin niece, Victoria Squasonson Williams, to offering an opening prayer and calling upon the ancestors and using the words of our elder Wilapia, and to carry the spirit of our nation to guide us and our ancestors to guide us today. To Wapio and Kwekwemasot for blessing our table and reminding us to honor the foods and the hands that prepared them and the lands that sustain us, and all of the caterers that prepared those foods for us this way. To our songbird Connie Adams, thank you for drumming us in and carrying the heartbeat that brings us together as one and allowing us to come together in ceremony to start our meeting in a good way and to end our meeting and our session with our heartbeat together as one. Thank you, Paul, for coming together to us today. We really made you work. We got you, it's true, if you were wearing your Fitbit, I think you would have got quite a few steps today. Thank you for carrying that feather with dignity and care and upholding a role that connects us to our teachings and our responsibility. It's new for you, and you did it with grace and dignity and respect, and we really appreciate that, and we really thank you for that support in our work. To our elders, we honor your presence, your teachings, and your strength. I'm not so sure now, what Laura said, that some of us are now become those elders, and it's a little bit, but I do want to honor those elders, though, that had guided us and given us those teachings. And I thank you for the words of sharing now that it's our job now to live those teachings, and that we all carry teachings that have been passed down to us. And of course, to our advisory council members, our staff, our members, and all of our honored guests who witness this work. And that's exactly what I heard from our legislators, that our guests, our members, and our staff are witnessing this work and contributing to the work of our nations. Their presence affirms that we do not walk this path alone. We walk it together, side by side, guided by those who came before us and mindful of those who are yet to come, which is what our motto is for this Natsamat, for current and future generations. As we close, we will move together in our last respectful procession for this session and maybe even for this term. We'll be drummed out by our songbird, Connie Adams, in the same good way that we were welcomed in. And we will remove those feathers that gave us the honor and the respect to voice our words from the mantle with care, acknowledging again our teachings, the responsibilities that come with carrying that feather and using our voice, and the spirit that carried us in the act of using those feathers. Thank you so much again for the honor and the privilege of being your Squeakquel. Meeting adjourned. Haisapka. And thank you to my hotspot people that helped me out.